So we are back with our walls, and there's a whole lot more that we ought to learn. So, talk about how we could edit this wall, increase the thickness. Okay, so come to elevation, let's say north elevation. Okay, we'll, we'll definitely see our wall elevation, right? What if I want to edit this wall? I want to change the shape of it. So I click on the wall. When I click on it, it's highlighted. I come here to edit profile. Okay. When you come to edit profile, you can see these pinkish lines. This is what gives the wall its shape. So I want to alter the shape. So what I do is I click on it and drag to here. Then I come here, if you can see, on the draw panel, and I have different options. Line, rectangle, inscribe polygon, circumscribe polygon, circle, star end radius arc, center ends arc, tangent end arc, fillet arc, spline, ellipse, partial ellipse lines. You use a few of them. So I'm using the line tool, which will enable me to draw with lines. So I do something like this and I end it here. So once I do this, I press escape, okay, and then it's gone. Now I want to make sure that I have everything in this fashion. Okay. What happens is if if I have this is what is called a sketch line. Okay, and normally it's used in drawing stuff in Revit. If I have this extended like this and then um I complete it by clicking finish here, because this is how you complete the sketch. When I click finish, it's supposed to uh change what I see in lines into the actual 3D form that we used to see. But the issue is if I do that, I will not be able to change it because of just this line sticking out, because um you are not supposed to have you're not supposed to have lines sticking out like that. So you let me just try it and see. When I click finish, you see it's telling me lines cannot intersect each other. Look at the error dialog box or everything. Lines cannot intersect each other. The highlighting lines currently intersect. Okay. So that is one thing you should watch out for every time you're in sketch mode. So you make sure that that doesn't happen. So I make sure that there's no intersection here. All the edges are closed. Okay, it's also a very important thing to note. Let me just show you. So imagine if the edge was not closed, it was open like this, and then I try to finish in edit mode. So I click finish again here. That is the green tick mark over here, and see what it tells me. Lines must be in closed loops. The highlighted lines are open on one end. So these are the things to watch out whenever you find yourself in sketch mode. Make sure that you don't have any openings or you don't have any intersections, and then you are good to go. So I have my entire sketch finished, and then I click finish edit mode, and you see I have been able to modify the wall to see the shape that I want. So imagine if I want uh to make um a very funny looking wall, which um sort of bends in this manner. So I don't know if you are seeing the tool that I use. So I use the star end radius arc. Okay, so star end radius arc. I click one point and then I click another point. it gives the impression that it's just a line, but when I click the other point, it will begin to bend into a curve. Okay. So I click the other point and you see bends into a curve. So I just raise the cursor up to get that curve that I'm looking for. So I have something like this. And remember that to make sure that all the edges are closed up. Okay. And then finish. I click finish. And there you have my wall edited. So anytime I want to do an edit, I click the wall again, come to edit profile. We want to restore the wall to how it used to look like. So I clicked on the line 2 and I clicked one edge and click the other edge. And now I have the wall restored when I click finish. Okay. So that is how we modify walls. I want to show you another way or other aspects of modification. So you see this wall we've drawn here, you can see an opening over here. So how do we close up this opening? Of course, you can click this wall and then drag it to this end and then you close this opening. Okay. But what if we want a faster way to do this? Then what we can do is click on the modify tab over here. Let me click on the modify tab for you. Um, so click modify here. Then I come to trim or extend corner. So this helps you to trim when you have some sort of intersection or overlap like what you experience, or also to extend. That is when you have an opening and you want to join. Okay, so I click that and did you see what just happened? Okay, so let me do that again for you to see. So I have this opening like this. I'm using the trim and extend tool, which is the tool on the modify panel over here. So I click on it. I click the openings I want to merge or the walls adjacent to the openings I want to merge. So I click this wall and I click this wall and then they merge. Okay. So let me create something with multiple openings to show you how this tool works. So if I have something like this, now I've created multiple openings around the wall and I want to use the trim tool to join or the extend. So I just click here, click here, click here, click here, it joins, click here, click here, it joins, click here, click here, it joins. Okay. So what about the trim property or the trim function? So let's just say that the walls actually had some kind of overlap this way and we had wanted to trim it. Of course, we could drag the wall, that is just click it and drag it and we'll deal with that. But what if there was a more efficient way? So we can use the trim tool again. And what I do is I'll click on the walls that have the extension or whatever, which is this one. So when I click both of the walls, they will cut off the extension. So I click this one, I click this one, you see, extension is cut off. I click this one, I click this one, the extension is cut off. I click this one, I click this one. So that's the trim tool. And the shortcut for the trim tool is TR. So instead of looking for it on the ribbon, you can just type TR on your keyboard and you can use the trim tool. Yeah, so you can practice that and see how the tool works. So like I said, I click this, and it cuts it off. Yeah, it's a very, very efficient tool that helps you eliminate certain extensions. So I click this, and it will cut off this. So I'm doing it again for you to see. All right. Can I do this? Okay. So we'll be looking at the next thing. Thank you very much.